Is a top WWE legend coming out of retirement? We're going to talk about that, plus some massive news surrounding the Royal Rumble 2025. And of course, we got to talk about this new interesting AEW trademark. What are they going to do with it? Let's talk about it. All right, guys, you already know the drill. We got to kick things off with AEW, Big Show, Paul White, Captain Insano. Well, that's the new AEW trademark that they've filed for. The company filed for the character name on January 24th, and they've done this for merchandising services with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Bandanas, hats, headwear, pants, shirts, socks, sweatshirts, t-shirts, undergarments, clothing jackets, tank tops, clothing for wear in wrestling games. Obviously, we know that Paul White, the Big Show, he played Captain Insano in the movie The Waterboy with Adam Sandler. We've seen him make a couple appearances, with AEW as Captain Insano. He's dressed up as the character. Now AEW has filed for the trademark. Obviously, some people are running with this and thinking that AEW is going to be putting him as a main character on TV with this character. I don't think that is the case. I don't expect that to be the case. But I do think it is really, really, really interesting that AEW is doing this. And I think it's actually a really good thing that AEW is doing this. And I want to talk to you guys about why. First and foremost, I talk about WWE owning intellectual properties, trademarking characters and things of that nature, the gimmicks that they trademark. That is such a big thing for WWE. There's a lot of money to be made off of the characters. Now, the Captain Insano character, I don't know if it's going to be really relevant to AEW. I don't know if it's going to be a big success when it comes to selling merchandise, but I am a big fan of Paul White. I'm a big fan of the Big Show. Obviously, we don't see him on screen, but I do think if they are trying to make money from this, I think it could be somewhat successful, and therefore that is the reason why you would do it. For AEW, the cost of what it is to get a trademark versus what it costs, to sell merchandise and stuff, it's an easy return for AEW. The only question mark here is what are they going to do with it? Like, are they going to actually put them on TV? Are they going to put them in programs? That kind of thing. I don't think AEW is going to do that, but you never know. AEW might shock us all. But obviously, for them to do this, it's right up their alley, and I do think they should be doing more trademarks and more character things. We haven't really seen Tony Khan play around with that. The only other time that I really remember him, at least when it comes to a character, it was it was obviously hologram. So to me, I do think it's a big deal to have ownership and properties. I think Tony Khan is smart enough to do that. How big is this one? I don't know. But obviously, we will find out relatively soon. That turns us to our next topic. The WWE Royal Rumble in 2025 is on track to break a big record with this event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be likely the largest non-WrestleMania gate in WWE history. Tickets have been moving like absolute crazy. As of Friday, the show had like 56,000 tickets sold. 65,000 would be pretty astronomical, but that would be a legit sellout. And at this time, WWE is trending to have that sellout. Now, WWE WrestleMania is very, very expensive. We all know this. But obviously, Royal Rumble is part of the Big Four. Obviously, the Royal Rumble is a situation where 30 men, 30 women, throwing people over the top ropes. Both of these matches are going to be absolutely stacked with the roster that they currently have. WWE also just announced on SmackDown that DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns will have a 2 out of 3 falls match at the pay-per-view. This is obviously massive news for WWE, but it goes to show you that WWE in a way has kind of created this atmosphere where even if you don't go to WrestleMania, other stadium shows will feel like WrestleMania. And I think that was the right approach. I think having WrestleMania be the biggest one is obviously huge. And obviously that's a reason why WWE is selling tickets for like 15 grand. But also when you see the Royal Rumble ticket prices, they are very, very, very expensive, which goes to show you that this company is a very hot company. Whether you like the booking or not, whether you like Triple H or not, whether you like Nick Khan or not, we can't argue with the facts. This company is just simply very, very hot right now, and they're able to get away with these expensive tickets, and that's why this is going to be the highest gate in history that's not a WrestleMania. it's headed in that direction. WWE is trending to do it. They're making history. And I think that just goes to show you, not only is the product very hot, but WWE is taking advantage of the product being very hot and taking advantage of the market. Now, from a personal standpoint, not from a analysis standpoint, but from a personal standpoint, I don't like the idea of tickets being expensive to shows. That's just in general. It doesn't matter if it's wrestling, comedy, concerts, or anything. I don't like the idea of them being expensive. But of course, obviously, if you don't mind spending the money, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. So that's obviously the reason why I bring this up, because, you know, there's a lot of people who are being priced out of not being able to go to the event because of how expensive they are. And then some people enjoy the product so much that they're willing to spend the money on the product. And obviously that makes sense as to why people are buying the tickets. So we'll see what happens, but congrats to WWE, I guess. This is huge. And that brings us to Shawn Michaels. We saw Shawn Michaels get physical at Saturday night's main event. He hit a sweet chin music on Kevin Owens, and this is leading many to believe that Shawn Michaels is set to return as an on-screen character for a WrestleMania program with Kevin Owens. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that should be the case, and I really want to talk about this largely due to the fact that Shawn Michaels is the NXT general manager. Having them come in, mediate the contract signing, having them do things like that, those segments, that's fine. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I don't like the idea of Shawn Michaels having a WrestleMania singles match. I know there's been that long-awaited rumor and speculation that people think, you know, maybe AJ Styles would have been able to get him out of retirement. Listen, years and years ago, that would have been cool. It's 2025. Oh, man, you just got to figure out how to use the youth, and that's as simple as that. Simple as that, guys. You gotta figure out how to push the young and up and coming guys, and Shawn Michaels coming in for that spot is not one that I would like to see. But instead, what I would like to position here, and I said this about a year ago, I think WrestleMania, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I've laid it out several times on this channel, but I think that should be a singles match. And if you want Shawn Michaels involved, if you want legends involved, have him involved as the special guest referee, right? Have him involved as a special enforcer. Have him involved in segments leading up to the match. Do not have Shawn Michaels wrestle at WrestleMania. WWE's product is hot. You don't need to rely on the legends. You don't need to at all. And Shawn Michaels has no business coming out of retirement for Kevin Owens. Obviously, for Kevin Owens, this guy has been put in an amazing spot for WrestleManias. He's always given great opportunities at WrestleMania, so I'm very happy to see that. But I don't want Owens versus Michaels. I want Owens versus Sami Zayn. You can make Shawn Michaels the special referee. That would be fine. But as far as Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement, if it is true, I don't want to necessarily see it. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below.